Thank you. Okay, and I'm just going to, for a little bit of today, I'm going to share screen. Which I don't usually do for these 30 minutes, but I am today. So let me just share my screen and welcome everybody to being here. Just share. Okay, can you see my screen, everybody?
Yes.
Excellent. Well, thank you everybody for being here today. Welcome, welcome, welcome to our 30-minute positive vibe session, which is called Chasing Happiness Together. I'm just going to tell my son to stop shouting. He's playing a game next door, and I don't know if you guys can hear him, but I can. Hi, Florence. 1 second, everybody. 1 second. So welcome, everybody. Thank you for being here today for our 30-minute positive vibe session, which is all about chasing happiness together. Because often we view happiness as a destination, a goal we'll achieve someday. When we land that perfect job, find the ideal partner, or have this Instagram social media worthy life. But what if happiness isn't something to chase? What if it's a mindset that we can nurture in the present moment? Are you ready to stop chasing and start living? Well, for those of you who...
Absolutely.
Excellent, good to hear that. Those of you who don't know me and have never met me before, I'm Doreen Horsley. I'm a connections creator. I'm also a coach and a leader. And basically, I create spaces where women can thrive. I'm very passionate about empowering women to step into their power. And I do that by providing opportunities so that they can connect, collaborate, and elevate their personal and professional lives. So what are you going to learn today? We're going to start with an icebreaker. You're going to learn a little bit about what society has taught us about happiness. You're going to learn about happiness being a choice and how it's a choice. And then we're going to go through some actionable steps or techniques to harness the power of positive thinking so that you can have a more joyful and fulfilling life. Okay. So our icebreaker is very simple. I want you to think about one thing that made you smile today. And please put it in the chat. One thing that made you smile today.
Oh my, oh my goodness.
And can I ask everybody to mute themselves for now, just as we're getting started? Oh, we've got 8 people in the room. That's good. Can you still see my screen, everybody?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Zoom's changed. Everything's changing. So forgive me, guys. Welcome, Jennifer. Welcome, Trudy. Whoever I haven't said hello to, 1, 2, 3. Excellent. So my mum being able to help me out over the last week. Excellent. Love that, Trudy. That's good. That made you smile today. So write in the chat one thing that made you smile. And I'm just going to have a look at these. Florence said her family. Elita said a funny comment on one of my posts. Awesome. Agatha, my son telling me I'm pretty. Oh, I love that. Jennifer says the team meeting was fun. And Beatrix says a new connection I made today. Awesome. So you can see that there's things that can make us feel happy within. Yeah? Oops, let me just make sure I press the right thing. Okay. So what has society taught us then? Yeah? What has society taught us? Sadly, we live in the world of I will only be happy if. We're only going to be happy because we're told that beauty standards and looking a certain way leads to happiness. We're taught that happiness comes from instant gratification, things like shopping, entertainment, or indulging in treats. We're told that achieving external milestones like wealth, career success, relationships, or owning material possessions are the things that lead to happiness. How many of you can relate to that? Maybe put a 1 in the chat if you feel that you've been told at some point in your life, or you've been led to believe that happiness is external and you can only be happy if you can achieve those things. You see, often we measure ourselves against others on social media. We feel that that defines how happy we should be. Yeah? Happiness is seen as a future goal. And to be happy, we must be free of struggles, pain, or failure. Well, actually, those things are not true. Yes, society often promotes external one-size-fits-all or surface levels of happiness, but true happiness really comes from within us through self-awareness, through gratitude, meaningful relationships, and a sense of purpose. And so what we need to do is recognize and challenge some of these societal myths, these things that we're taught or conditioned to believe, so that we can define happiness on our own terms. The world is built to profit when we think negatively, when we have this lack mentality or this feeling of feeling unworthy. And what happens is, if we're not careful, our mind can stop us from creating and defining the happiness on our own terms. We don't want that to be the case. So happiness is a choice. It is absolutely a choice. We can choose to be happy. And it isn't just about what happens to us. It's more about how we respond when things happen to us. How we respond. And I'll explain that now. Imagine two people experiencing the same situation. Say it's a rainy day. Yeah? Now, one will see it as an inconvenience, complaining about her ruined plans. Can't do this, can't do that, it's raining. Whereas somebody else might look at it as an opportunity to maybe slow down, enjoy a cozy moment, or appreciate nature's beauty. It's the same rain, but two completely different emotional experiences. And so this illustrates that happiness is less about the events in our lives and more about how we interpret and react to those events. You see, external circumstances are out of our control. We can't control the rain. We can't control when we're stuck in traffic or the train's breaking down. But our mindset, our internal response is something that we do have the power to shape. We can control how we feel about a situation. So I want you to write this down. We can't control what happens, but we can choose how to respond, making happiness a deliberate daily choice. Yeah? We can't always control what happens, but we can control how we respond, making happiness a deliberate daily choice. And if you would like, I'll put that in the chat so you can see it. So what is it that determines the way in which we handle our challenges? Well, it usually starts with our thoughts. And that once we think something, it controls our feelings and then our actions. So our thoughts, what we think, affects our feelings about a situation and thereby our actions. And then this is all measured and calibrated by our language. Some of you who I've coached or taught know and have heard me talk about this before. Because know this, that our thoughts are very, very powerful. So what we do to train our thoughts will impact our feelings, will affect our actions, and all this happens through our language of what we think or feel or say about a matter. And maybe you've heard other people talk about, like, you know, entrepreneurs and that talk about, be careful what you say. And that's why when I work with people, my clients, I always catch them or help them to think about their language when they're talking about what they're doing or saying or whatever. If they say something that's disempowering, I'll stop them and help them to reframe that. And that's some of the work we're going to be doing today, some of the exercises. One of the things I've known, and many of you may know me for, is this for, think you can, yes, you can. And the late Henry Ford, the founder of Ford Motors, always said, if you think you can, if you think you can't, you're right. So yes, your thoughts affect your language. So we're going to do an exercise now called planting seeds of positivity. And we're going to put this into action. So I'm just going to stop share. So Alita says, okay, so Alita, I'm just going to pick up on what you've just mentioned here. Being single isn't something people think of as happy. You're right. But life is not about what other people think. Yeah, it's about what you think. You define your happiness. It's very important not to allow our lives to be shaped by what other people think. And people are always quick to try and give us advice. And we need to train ourselves to say, thank you very much, and go in our own lane. Yeah? So let's do this exercise. I want you to, step one is this. I want you to visualize, it's called visualize the garden, right? I want you to close your eyes for a second or lower the gaze. And I want you to imagine your mind as a garden, right? Take a few deep breaths. In through your nose, out through your mouth. Just clear the mind and just imagine your mind is a garden. And I want you to visualize that your thoughts are the seeds. Now, your positive thoughts grow into a beautiful garden of flowers or fruitful trees. But any negative thoughts, they sprout weeds. And we know what weeds can do, don't we? They can take over the garden. So just take a few moments, just imagine your mind is this garden. And then I want you to start thinking about some common weed thoughts or negative thoughts, yeah, that come up into your garden. Now, Lita mentioned one about friends look at her as being, and some of you may be in the same boat. You may be single and other people think, oh, you're not married yet, or who are you, you know, who are you going, who are you dating, right? And so your negative thinking may overpower the garden. And I want you to start brainstorming some positive reframes. They're going to be called flower thoughts. And you can write them in the chat if you like. So weed thought might be, I'm not good enough to succeed. But a flower thought would be, well, I have the ability to learn and grow with each challenge I face. That's an example. A common weed thought I hear, and I'll put it in the chat, is nothing ever works out for me. But the flower thought is, every setback teaches me something valuable and brings me closer to success. So I want you to just spend a few minutes, just whether you lower the gaze, close your eyes, just think about some of the negative thoughts that come up from day to day. And I want you to reframe those into positive thoughts. And please share. If you're happy, if you want to unmute, you can. If you want to put them in the chat, you can. But let's share. Let's do this together. And then when you're ready, write that thought down. Yeah, you can either put it into the chat or write it down on the sheet of paper you have. Something that is a weed thought that comes up in the past week, past year, past moment. And make sure you write your flower thought to replace it. Almost cross out the weed thought and replace it with your flower thought. Here we're planting seeds. We're digging out the weeds and we're planting seeds in its place. What's a negative thought you want to pull out of your garden? And please share your examples if you may. Oh, I love that, Alita. I am alone, but I am not lonely. Okay. I love that. That's lovely. And there's power in being alone. Hello, introvert here. I love my own space. I love being alone. Yeah. And so a lot of the time it's how you look at what being alone's about. Some people may look at it and think, oh, you're alone. But others, thank you for my space. Thank you. Now I can start recharging. I see Beatrix nodding because she knows what I'm saying here is so true. Wow, I love that one, Jennifer. I'm not attractive enough. Cross that out. Beauty's in the eye of the beholder. You can say, I am beautiful. Welcome, Naomi. Nice to see you here today. I haven't personally said hello to you, so I just thought I'd say that.
Sorry for being so extremely late.
That's okay, my dude. That's fine. So what we're doing, I'm not sure when you arrived, Naomi, but we're just thinking about some sort of like weeds in our garden, in our mind, that tend to overpower the garden of our mind. But we want to replace those weeds and start planting seeds that are going to grow in and blossom into beautiful flowers or beautiful fruit trees. Excellent. So we've got a couple here. That's really good. Now, the next thing we want to do is to affirm the growth, right? We want to come up with a short affirmation to water the seeds, because we can write these things down and we can say them once and that's it. But you know what weeds are like? They can start taking over. They start multiplying a lot quicker than seeds do. So I want you to repeat affirmations such as, I choose to nurture positive thoughts each day. And I'm going to put 3 affirmations in the chat. And you can either choose to say these or you can say your own, but say them out loud. You're all on mute, I see, yes. Just tell yourself these positive thoughts, these positive vibes to replace some of the negative thoughts that may come up and feel, well, you're not pretty or you're single or whatever, you're not happy. Here we want to really affirm the growth. And we do that by practicing affirmations daily. Say them out loud. Look at ourselves in the mirror, maybe, but literally say it. We have to say it to believe it. We have to anchor it in, if you like. And maybe you want to share in the chat an affirmation of your own that you use from day to day. I know many people have their own affirmations that they tell themselves. So if anybody wants to share, you're welcome to do that. And now we want to, whilst you're doing that, and just keep checking the chat. Okay. And now you want to focus on the possibilities and solutions that are open to you as you face challenges that you know are in your way. Yeah? I want you to reflect how your mindset impacts your life. I mentioned that your thoughts affect your emotions and then your actions. So what positive things can you start thinking about that's going to change your approach in life? And how can you do that? Some of you may practice daily affirmations anyway. Some of you may listen to music. I'm going to talk a little bit about gratitude in a second, but maybe there's other ways that you want to share with your fellow delegates in the room here. What are you doing? What do you do? Because we all get negative thoughts day to day in some shape or form. But what do you do to overcome those? I listen to motivational videos. Love that. Thank you for sharing, Anita. I'm a strong woman. I can overcome any challenge. Yes. Excellent, Florence. You can even make that even more empowering by saying, I am a strong woman, and I am overcoming challenges. Not that you can, because can is like, I can do it, which is fair enough, but I am doing it. There's so much power in the I am, what you're doing now. Yeah? And whilst everyone's got their cameras on and everyone's smiling, can I quickly take a screenshot? I never get this, do I, Lolita? So let me just shut that down. Let me just grab the screen, the snipping tool. Can I just say after 1, 2, 3? Excellent, thank you. Let me make sure I plonk that somewhere because I know what happened. I won't. Let me just go back to the chat. Excuse me. My body's already done an amazing job. It's still slowing and successfully cutting. Wow, loving that. And Naomi, yes. Because often our health can impact us as well. Menopause can impact us, things that are beyond our control. A lot of it is about how we look at it. Yeah. Remember, I gave the illustration about raining. Same situation, but how we respond to that situation will determine whether or not we're happy or not. Excellent. So gratitude is something that is so powerful. It's amazing. Yeah, so powerful. What it does, it rewires the brain for positivity. So we're going to do a little activity called gratitude show and tell. I want you to grab an object from your surroundings, and that's going to represent something that you're grateful for. It could be a photo, a mug, a book, anything showing, but focusing on gratitude and how it makes you feel. So if you can do that, if it's within your reach, like for me here, I have a candle. And it's a fragrance candle that I bought in Greece. And I'm grateful for the senses that God has blessed me with that I can smell. My daughter had long COVID for 2.5 years, couldn't smell anything. So personally, I'm grateful for the ability to be able to smell. So if you can, if you don't mind, grab an object that's close to you, look around, something that represents something you're grateful for, and then one by one, we're going to unmute and share why you're grateful for that. And I'll give you a minute to do that. Okay, so Alita, you're top left on my screen. Are you ready? Can you unmute and show us your object if you will, or tell us about it?
Yes, this is a card. It's an actual card. It was sent to me by a lady I go to church with, and I keep it on my desk because it represents my faith, which I can
Excellent.
always hold on to. Talks about God steadies me, lifts us, and carries us. So
Love it. Well
always
done.
thankful for my faith.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing. Beatrice, can you go second, please?
Yes, I've got a notebook here and it says, live life with no regrets. First of all, I'm grateful for the reminder and grateful for having a book, for taking notes. Lots of knowledge in it, lots of stuff that I can learn from and implement in my business.
Excellent. Love it. Thank you. Thank you for sharing,
you.
Beatrice. Agatha, can you share, please? You're muted. Just unmute yourself, love. Thank you. No, you're still muted.
Mama, sorry.
Oh,
This is my birthday card. I got my family.
okay. Sorry, Flo. I was just asking Agatha to unmute,
Oh,
but she's
sorry,
struggling. No,
sorry.
that's fine. That's okay.
Sorry, let me pin myself back. Sorry.
No. If Agatha's struggling, I'll leave you to last, Agatha, and see if you can unmute
No,
yourself.
that's fine. Yeah, sorry.
No, don't apologize. Go ahead, Flo. Tell me about yours.
No, let her do it. It's okay.
No, but she's struggling to unmute, so it's your turn. You're next.
We have to give her the space in it.
So do you want to share yours, Flo, now, please?
Okay. Yeah, this is my card I get for my birthday. And I can
Okay.
hear, thank you for everything you do for us all. We love you. So I love that. It
Thank
makes
you.
my day happy.
Mm-hmm.
And they put all the photo around me.
Excellent. Loving it. Loving it. Thank you for sharing. Thank you. Jennifer, you're next on my screen.
So I've got these two hearts,
Oh, lovely.
I'll read what one of them says. So it says, my friend gave me these and they're on my laptop, next to my laptop. Friends are like stars. You don't always see them, but you know they are there. Many people pass through your life, but only true friends leave footprints on your heart.
Oh, that's lovely. Beautiful. Thank you. Okay. Trudy, have I done Trudy? No, I started with Lisa. So Trudy, please. Just that.
Yeah, I didn't actually have anything inspirational simply because I've been away recovering my mum's and she just got back today, so I haven't really had the headspace to think about anything. But I was just thinking of something I was listening to last night um where it was talking about positivity, and it was I was listening to it just before going to sleep. And I was trying to remember. I'm still trying to remember what it was saying. I think it was something along the lines of that battles that you go, any battles or challenging that you go through,
Mhm.
that will always overcome it eventually.
Okay,
It was
lovely.
something
Thank
along
you.
that lines. Literally before I was dozing off, it was playing in the background.
Okay, no problem. So Meredith, do you want to quickly do yours? I'm not sure if you're there. You said you're heading off to wrap up. It's another meeting. I'm not sure if you're there to share what you're grateful for. There she is. Just unmute yourself, love. Thank you.
Hey, this is my
Excellent.
2024 notebook.
Okay.
I put every task I have to complete in this notebook, and it helped me close 3 projects lately. So I'm grateful.
Excellent. Thank you for sharing and thank you for joining us tonight. Yeah, thank you.
It was a pleasure. See you soon.
See you soon. Bye-bye. Bye.
Bye.
And Naomi?
So this is a cream for scars.
Ooh, okay.
And well, it has a lot of meaning to me. So I'm grateful because, well, it actually represents that I have a closed scar that I need to take care of.
Wow.
So it
Yes.
means it's closed. So, and it did close without too many problems. So, and I got a doctor recommended me this cream in a clinic. I was for 4 weeks, which I'm also grateful for the time I was there.
Excellent.
So, I mean, all in all, it represents, I'm grateful for how everything went.
Excellent. Thank you for sharing that, Naomi. And it's lovely to see that, you know, that is a form of you that you're grateful for. That's wonderful. Okay, and last but by no means least, Agatha.
Finally, I'm able to
We
unmute myself.
can't see you, Agatha. I know
But
you've
you can't
unmuted.
see me. What's going on? I
Just put
don't
your
know.
camera on and you're fine. We can definitely hear you.
Can you see me now?
No.
I
But
don't know what's going on.
Don't
with
worry,
my...
just tell us what you're grateful for, darling.
Okay, so I'm grateful for my candle.
Mhm.
I suffer from severe sinus. And so from time to time, you know, my nose opens up and I'm able to smell. So I always have some really lovely candles all over the house. For the moments that I feel like I can breathe properly, I can smell properly, I just light my candle and enjoy the moment.
Lovely, beautiful. Thank you, ladies. So can you see that happiness is not something that we need to chase? We can be happy just by one thinking about something that makes us smile. I mean, how was that for you? How was that exercise for you? When you thought about that one thing that made you smile, did it not make you smile again? And when we smile, it affects our emotions. Just by thinking, remember I said about your thoughts. Oh yeah, that happened to me. Affected your emotions and then your actions, yeah? Happiness is not something that we need to chase outside. You know, it's definitely an internal job, yeah? So you can start doing things like keeping a gratitude log, you know, because by keeping a gratitude log and logging the things that you're grateful for, every time something happens, you can start reflecting back on things that have made you really happy, yeah? And so maybe if I can ask you to, what's one action that you'll take from today's session to choose happiness? What's one learning? What are you going away with today that you didn't come with when you arrived here in this space? What's your takeaway thought? Maybe put that into the chat. It could be anything. One thing you learned today, what's your takeaway? Or one action you're going to put in place as a result of coming to this session? Always reframe negative thoughts. Love that. Thank you, Trudy. Intentionally choose to have positive thoughts. Well done. Finding something to be grateful for can always lift a cloud of dark negative. Love it. Absolutely. Yes, happiness is a habit. And hear what? Positive thinking is the foundation. The more we practice, the easier it becomes to see the beauty in every moment. So thank you, ladies, for being here today. Thank you, thank you. Many of you in this room, let me just check again, are in I think most of you are in my Ambitious Ladies WhatsApp group. If you're not, I'll drop the link where you can be surrounded by women who will empower you, who are all about connection and genuine support. It's a lovely way to hear first about events that are happening in the space. And you're welcome to join us. I'm just going to drop that into the chat. Oops. There's a link to join. But if not, have a beautiful evening, ladies. Thank you for being here. Well, Beatrice says, I reinforce more powerful affirmations. Love that, Beatrice. Thank you. And Jennifer, to practice more on daily affirmations. Thank you. Love it. Love it. Lovely. Hope you enjoyed today, and I'll see you first Wednesday of every month. I always try and do one of these 30-minute sessions to bring some positive vibes into your lives. Have a lovely evening, ladies. I'll see you soon. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye, bye, bye.